Hello and welcome to the SEO plus AI show. My name is Josh. SEO is costing too much, Bashinsky. If you think that SEO either costs too much or takes too much time, today is your show. We're going to show you concrete, super easy ways that definitely work, that'll work 100% of reducing your SEO costs in terms of time and reducing your SEO costs in terms of money. Have you been doing SEO out there, folks? Now, have you thought to yourself, boy, SEO costs too much. SEO costs far too much money and takes far too much time. For me, before AI, to do the proper research, to have a subject matter expert, to make high quality white hat content. Because that's all we do here is make high quality white hat content all day long. And to be able to have what the Google is called the EAT, the experience, the authority, and the trust. Then they expanded it to the expertise, experience, authority, and trust. And we've expanded it to the sheet to have the semantic keywords, the keywords that boost your page based on semantics. Some people think it's NLP, it's not. Some people think it's LSI, it's not. It's the things I'm going to show you today. I'm going to show you the secret. I'm going to crack the Google code for you today open, and I'm going to show you the actual semantic keywords you need. Then the helpfulness keywords, that's where the H in the sheet comes from. The helpful AI came out about a year ago, roughly from this time. And it's specifically looking for keywords in your on page that show that you are helpful to the user. That includes what was first the product AI, and now it's called the review AI. For any kind of review style page to show that you have the best review, one that is worth ranking in Google. Those are actually words you need in your page to show that your on page works. And then also includes the expertise keywords to show in your page you have the expertise. You're talking about it like an expert would talk about it. You have the experience, therefore showing your authority. Those are actually words that have to be put in the page that therefore show that you have the trust. That's the first T in the sheet acronym. And then finally, you have the timely keywords. You show that your content is timely. You show that you are up to date. You are an up-to-date expert giving the most helpful, relevant review content that also has the semantic keywords built in. This sheet is what you need. It's a little of a play on words, obviously, a little tongue-in-cheek play on words, but we're very serious when you need those keywords, and you need to put them in your page. Now, you might be like, one, that might be news to you. Okay, well, great. Welcome to the SEO plus AI show where we give you all the goods of actually how to rank. Two, however, how long has it taken my subject matter expert writers that I hire, and if you're working in an SEO agency or if you're an in-house SEO, you know this very well. You probably have a team of writers, at least one probably, or maybe you're the only person who does it, but you need to have a staff doing this. Previously, before AI and before SEO Copilot, which I'm about to show you, you needed to have a team of writers, which took 20 hours, 10 hours, 20 hours per page of research, because they don't know the law, they don't know about plumbing, they don't know about locksmithing, they don't know about Dyson air fryers, they don't know about whatever it is, right? They're just generally good researchers and writers, and you paid them, usually overseas, for 10 to 20 hours per page, which cost you a pretty penny, and then they wrote the page, and then they need to do around 10 hours of SEO research, looking at competitors and seeing their keywords, and what keywords should I put in here? And it was all this guessing and humming and hawing, and we didn't know the keywords to put in, and it was all crazy. And you could hear my stress levels going up because it took 30 hours per page to get lackluster results. And what was the result of this? Usually bad rankings was the result of this. Usually it didn't work, right? Now I'm going to turn it over to these guys, Greg and George. How long did it take before AI? How long did it take you guys to work per page? And how good did the results work out?
Too long is the short answer. I mean, I remember, pre-AI, I mean, you're talking about, probably about like, a week a page. I mean, done right, I mean, the research going kind of back and forth between, is it right? Is it read right? Does it read well? Yeah, looking at the competitors. I mean, everything, everything. It took I would say that it took a good week from start to finish. And, then you still had to have it approved by your client.
Right. And that's perfectly fair. I think, Greg, did you have a similar experience?
I did. Definitely starting off, I had to build out templates for pages to actually streamline the process. Otherwise, I was spending maybe $2 to $3 grand a month But if I hadn't created a process and templates for overseas people, mind you, not even US based, so take that 2 to 3x and 5x it, 2 to 3K rather. Without that in place, it would have been crazy money spending on, creating the content. So, and I got good results because, it was early on and, I was a pretty big brand. So at least in my niche. And so it worked. But today, that strategy is not going to work. That I can tell you for sure. And so, yeah, I can't see myself going back to hiring writers. I'd rather spend money on things like traffic or CRO or other things like that really AI hasn't come to fruition yet on those things. But so that's my story, at least.
Yeah, and you guys are completely right. I'm glad you were open and frank about how long it used to take to do it right, as George mentioned. Yes, you could get a person overseas to bang out an article an hour, but we all know, I think everyone in SEO knows now, that does not work long term. Making low quality, thin content, Google is all over about having their AI find that. And we have a proprietary spam score and a heat score in SEO Copilot, which will help you make the highest quality white hat content, but with ruthless black hat efficiency, right? So there's nothing wrong with AI content. And Google has said there's nothing wrong with AI content. The only problem with AI content is it tends to be low quality because you tend to go to ChatGPT and just give it the simplest prompt, write me an article about divorce law in LA, and it gives you a crap article, and that doesn't rank. It does not work. So that's why Greg and I built SEO Copilot. Now, George and Greg are members of SEO University, our secret underground mastermind group, where we found out all the science to put into this tool. And even using our advanced methods, which worked really well, as George said, it took a week to do the content, and we were ranking well, but you had to put in the helpfulness. You had to make sure it was helpful. You had to make sure that it had the review content words, the expertise, the experience, the authority, and the trust, something that in Underground SEO University we call entity vector, some things we call reference rank. You need all these other algorithms to find you and pick you up, and they're all on-page algorithms. The most important SEO that exists used to be off-page. Now it is for sure on-page. Off-page still matters for sure, and we can definitely help you how to do that. Email me at joshpaczynski@gmail.com, or if you like George, you want to try George out, email George. George, what's your contact information?
GeorgeJ@georgedigital.net.
There you go, GeorgeJ@georgedigital.net. He's doing some more of the automated kind of SEO, we'll say it that way. But we're all doing white hat SEO here. He's doing some more automated SEO stuff. If you like what George is saying, by all means, give him a contact or email me, joshpaczynski@gmail.com, and ask for George. I can forward you along if you want to do more of that. If you're more interested in learning SEO University tactics, email me at joshpaczynski@gmail.com. I can give you a huge discount if you're already an SEO Copilot customer. So SEO is taking too long. Now, Google is putting more pressure on us. Google is making it harder to do SEO, and that's just because, quite frankly, that was kind of, I'm sorry to say, a bit of lazy SEO. I've been a white hat for years, and with other white hat SEOs, I've been saying for years, guys, we have to make quality content, or Google is going to eventually nab that. And we've been saying it for years. The sky is falling, the sky is falling, the sky is falling. And now after October 7th, 2023, the sky has fallen, right? Google has finally got an AI that can replace all their quality raters. They fired most of their quality raters. And now they have an AI that can rank quality in real time. And they're like, no, this page is not quality. We're not ranking it. It doesn't have the helpfulness. It doesn't have the experience, the expertise. And we have built an AI that will actually help you in all of these things we're talking about. It will reduce your cost. It'll reduce your time drastically. What used to take 20 hours will now take 20 minutes. We've literally got it down from 20 hours down to 20 minutes, and that's going down to 2 minutes very shortly after we build in the next component of the SEO Copilot. But we've reduced the time in terms of the time, reduced the cost in terms of the cost. It used to cost, like, what would it cost to pay? Greg was paying 2 to 3K a month. What would it cost per article for the article to take a whole week? If you were paying yourself to do it, if you were doing it yourself, or paying your writer, I could tell you each article cost me $500 US to get quality. What did it cost you guys per article? I was hiring a guy in the US, mind you, to make sure he had the quality and the English. What did it cost you guys per article?
It was taking me, luckily, it's one of those things, like, luckily the client was fronting, the cost on that. But I would say, yeah, it was probably. I mean, I didn't always use in-house, or sorry, in country, in U.S. speaking country. Sorry, U.S. speaking, English speaking country.
We knew what you meant. Same thing, sure.
Yes, probably 350 or more. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And Greg, even with your outsourcers, with your they're called SOPs. Ryan talks about that a lot. He's obviously one of our co-hosts on the show as well. He couldn't be here today to talk about local, but with your standard operating procedures, your SOPs that give the outsourcers a specific thing to follow, because they need that, right? Because sometimes outsourcers, I don't know what's going on over there, but sometimes it seems to be a little bit of like a cowboy crazy woohoo show, and they get hired, they get fired, they quit, they join. You know, there's all this headache which can happen. Some outsourcers are wonderful. Don't get me wrong. I love people overseas, but it seems like they're living in a bit of a crazy world sometimes, or I don't know, maybe that's just the people we were hiring. So you need those SOPs, and even with the increased headache of hiring these and managing these people, and the huge decrease in quality sometimes that you would get, even with the SOPs, what was it costing you per article, Greg?
Yeah, forgetting about the SOPs, which I did, and whatever my billable hours is, forget that. When you look at per page with the SOP, I was probably in the $100 range, which would be maybe like a day and a half for an offshore writer to research, and put that all in, publish it. They did everything. So, yeah, I mean, you want to talk about $150 per page. That would probably where I'm at. So a little bit less than George, but again, I think mine was a little bit more straightforward in terms of the research with the template there, the SOPs as you call them, and I think that's even ridiculous to pay. Mm-hmm. Looking at it today, and what technology we have, it's crazy to think that that's what we spent, but we did.
I agree, and I was paying $500 per article roughly. George is kind of in the middle of that, and you were at the lower end of that. And I think we know that even going lower than that, some people can get that if they have a lot of outsourcers or whatnot. But it costs a lot of money, and the results were sometimes lackluster. It was a lot to manage. It cost a lot of money. It took a lot of time. Our clients were upset. We wouldn't work fast enough. Those were all the problems before SEO Copilot. Now with SEO Copilot, as just a rough guess what we can do. What used to take 20 hours and now takes 20 minutes. I know Greg knows the cost, so I won't make you guys guess because you guys know the cost because you guys are on SEO Copilot. But we got 20 hours down to 20 minutes using an advanced AI, which is making pure white hat, full quality, higher quality articles than your current writer does. I would challenge your current writer, who is an expert writer, who does research. I would challenge your current writer in both a ranking contest. I would challenge your current writer in a quality contest. I will take your current writer's article, I'll put it in our system, and I'll show you all the mistakes that our AI finds. And I'll show you, look, in a side-by-side comparison, I'm giving this challenge to any SEO agency out there, any SEO in-house out there, or any SEO period, consultant or whatever you are. I will put up my content for free. I'll give you a free article. I'll put up my content for free because it takes me like 10 minutes to do it. So it's no skin off my back. I will give you a free article off our system. I will show you how much better it is, even in human reading, the human reading it, how much better our article is compared to your writer. I give that free challenge out there. And you know how much that would cost me to do that? You know how much it would cost? If I'm on the basic plan, the grandfathered plan for SEO Copilot, it would cost me $1.44 per article. It would take about 10 minutes, 20 minutes if I was being picky, and it would cost $1.44. So the cost comes down from $500 for a high quality written, sounds like it was written by someone in the US, researched, subject matter expert, helpful article. And those were supposed to be helpful articles, which are nowhere near as helpful as they are today. From $500 and 20 hours of work to do it the full white hat way to now the white hat standard is $1.44 per article. At $1.44 per month, you get 100 pages, so it comes out to roughly $1.44 an article. Better ranking potential. I guarantee better ranking potential. I guarantee probably usually more helpful. I guarantee it'll have a better spam score, if you even check for a spam score or check for a heat score. And it'll have better semantic keywords. And it'll only take you 20 minutes. An hour if you're being super picky and you want to make sure a human goes in there and changes things. And, you know, like an hour for like a law client, because the law client, you have to have back and forth with the client. You have to make sure that they approve the content. You should do that with every client, quite frankly, if you're providing a high quality white hat service. And I know you SEO agencies out there and you in-house SEOs are, so that's why I'm saying. It's also, you got to factor in the back and forth, the project management with the client, the managing their expectations, the back and forth that tends to creep quite a bit. Scope creeps quite a bit in these kind of projects, going back and forth. So let's say an hour per page if you're being picky and going through and going back and forth with the client. We got that from 20 hours to 1 hour. You could work 5 hours a day, build 5 pages a day, 25 pages a week, which is what I recommend, because that's the content velocity you need to get the trust and to get the large site you need on a new site. I'm considering a new site, although it probably isn't a new site. You probably already have an existing site with an existing DA, which is going to rank even better. You'll probably rank page 1 off the bat with our system, quite frankly. A new site, you'll have to wait a few months to build up that trust. There's no such thing as a sandbox. You need to build up an amount of trust for Google tries your pages. People like them, so they stick, right? Because traffic is part of the system, right? So Google's pretty much admitted this by now. And their new AI is part of the system, trying out pages. Oh, this one, people like that answer. It was helpful. It had the expertise, the authority, therefore we trust it. It seems timely. It's got the semantic keywords. It seems to be about the semantic, the meaning, the topic we need to make it about. So boom, it gets put up there. Okay? So I'll put up our pages against your pages, and we're able to take this amazing thing. This is the amazing promise of AI. We're able to take what used to take 20 hours per page and cost $500 per page down to 20 minutes to an hour tops and $1.44 per page. Do you realize the reduction in prices you can do? Let's say you're charging your client $2,000 a month for 4 or 5 pages. You can now charge them $2,000 a month for like times 10 the pages. At least, and that's you just, quite frankly, working 1 or 2 days a month on that client. You can go back and forth with the client to your heart's content. Now you have all this room for project management. And guess what you can do?
What I mention real quick, when people hear things like that, they get all, oh, SEO, like, you know, they're scamming us then. It's like, no, there's still a return on investment. Understand that regardless of what our margin might be, that lawyer is making more money. That lawyer doesn't care as long as they're making more money, right? We're becoming more efficient. Just because we become more efficient doesn't mean that our rates go lower.
Yeah, that's a great point, George. Thank you. I'm saying that. Here's an SEO tip. SEO tip, whatever number we're on. SEO tip, don't devalue yourself. Don't devalue your services. Don't devalue your price. Don't lower your prices. Get better customers or get more efficient with AI as you need to, because that's what your competition is doing. Slowly, your competition is realizing that AI will work, and they're starting to use AI systems. Now, we're pretty new, so not all of them are using us. I admit, we're pretty new. We've only been doing this for a year, so we have a few hundred users. But that's growing, right? There's going to be more and more people using our system, and more, everyone's moving to AI. Other co-pilots have been released, other AI writers are released, but they don't do the same things that we do. So they can rank pages instead of like 60 to 70% of the time, the way we can. They rank pages 20 to 30% of the time, but they already have a 10,000 user base. So there's going to be a lot of customers, a lot of your competitors are on there, are going to be spitting out content, and out of 100 pages, they're ranking 20, and they think that's good. Out of 100 pages, we're going to rank like 60 to 70 at the bare minimum. But I know those stats for a fact. I released them publicly. Go back and watch. 50,000 people just watched our How You Rank #1 video using SEO Copilot. So, you know, the buzz is getting out there. Our free trials is exploding. The buzz is getting out there for sure. You need to get in on the ground floor is what you need to do. I mean, this is just simply amazing. It's just revolutionary, right? You can go from 20 hours and $500 a page. And if you want, and you go down to 20 minutes, if you're really going fast, or an hour if you're doing like the luxury job, that's like a luxury service, an hour now on a page. Because the AI is doing all the heavy lifting. It's doing all the research on the keywords, doing all the research of the competitors, doing all the research of the helpfulness, doing all the research of the expertise, the expert stuff, the authority stuff, the stuff you need to talk about to be timely, checking out the latest information. A lot of those AI writers don't check out the latest information. They're all based on ChatGPT, most of them, or even worse, Llama or an open source AI, which is even worse. And quite frankly, those were all cut and trained 2-3 years ago. They are 2 or 3 years out of date, unlike our system, which works in other AIs, which does updated information, and you should have the current information using our system. And as George said, and fine, If you don't want to just charge them $2,000 for 5 articles a month, then do 10, then do 20. Say, look we're using AI now. We have a more advanced system. For 1,444, we can do 40 articles a month. High quality, guaranteed, 60 to 70% to rank. Even better if we're doing a better job at choosing the right niches, which our AI also analyzes for you and takes good 10, 20 hours of competitive research and 10 or 20 hours of finding the right niches. Should I rank for red apples? Should I rank for best red apples? Should I rank for red versus green apples? When you're choosing those searches to go for, our AI nails that in 5 minutes for you, like 5 minutes. I'm about to show you. So you're choosing the right keywords that are the low-hanging fruit that are easier to rank for anyway, and you're building a higher quality article. It's a slam dunk. 60 to 70% is on a user base right now that really doesn't understand our tool that we made, as I can tell, because now I'm doing free SEO CP training. Email me to get in on the free SEO CP training at joshpashinsky@gmail.com, or you should see the SEO CP SEO Copilot live training link on the bottom left of our toolbar. You could sign up for free training. I'd be happy to help you out with learning SEO CP. And I realize that users don't really get how to do SEO. And users don't really get how to use our system, because our system is tied to the correct ways of doing SEO. And so I'll teach you. It's for free. Go ahead, join that. I'll teach you how to do that. I'll teach you the correct way of doing SEO, at least for on-page, for SEO CP, for free. You can join those. They're every second Friday. So Greg and George, can you talk to a little bit of the difference between doing it before and doing it now, and how much better it is, like how amazing it is now with what we can do?
Yeah, I'll speak on just sort of a mental side of it. There is a chunk of this work when it comes to SEO, and sometimes people used to call it guessio, right? Where there's just like this little bit like, well, I don't know if it's going to work or not. Well, I guess I can try it. A lot of testing, right? So that's what was happening before, that you dealt with a lot of testing, A/B testing, and saying, what is it like? But now that anxiety of like, is this going to work? Am I going to be able to keep this client month after month because I don't know?
Yeah.
Right. That feeling is all but gone because of the way that, the AI is doing the research for you, the way that you can pretty much, you can rely on, you can lean on, right, the AI very heavily. And I mean, luckily for us, we've been in this long enough where we know what we're looking for, and we see that the AI is giving that to us, and we're like, sweet, I can use that. So that I guess what I'm getting at, the anxiety is much lower now than it was before.
That's a great point. That is a very great point. Thanks for saying that. And that's true. I think if every SEO is being honest, there was a lot of stress in the job, and there was a lot of guesswork, and there was a lot of anxiety. And I think you nailed it on the head there, George. The AI is doing the heavy lifting for all that research. And so you can go through it very quickly and be like, yes, this is the correct words. Yes, this is exactly what it should be saying. Yes, this is the helpfulness. I know that this is doing it. So you can trust the AI because of the way that we structure it, the way we program this AI. It's much more robust. It's not just ChatGPT. It's much more robust, running multiple AIs with complex chain of thought or tree of thought ideations. I've been doing AI for 10 years. I've been doing SEO for 28 years. I know how to build these things, and the results are just, quite frankly, amazing. And the difference from before of doing the guessio, as you mentioned, and like listen, if we're being frank, if we're being honest, that's what the job was, right? Like we thought we knew, we'd like to say we knew, but at the end of the day, Google can always surprise you, and everyone here has had hits before. Everyone here has had pages that have been hit by Google for sure. I have. Everyone here has. You don't even have to raise your hand. We all know you. I'm outing you. I'm sorry, guys. Everyone here, if you've been doing SEO long enough and you haven't had a page hit, you haven't been doing SEO. You haven't been trying. You haven't been trying to rank an affiliate niche. You haven't been trying to rank payday loans. You haven't been trying to rank local locksmiths or stuff like that. You definitely have had pages hit. If you haven't had pages hit, then that means you've been working probably for one or two customers who would have ranked anyway because they're big, huge brands, right? Quite frankly. So AI allows you to rank like it's a big brand when it's not. It allows you to do the SEO efficiently. You get hundreds of hours of work and tens of thousands of dollars or thousands of dollars you're paying your employees down to a very, very low cost. The cost goes from $500 per page to $144 per page, or even less if you're on a higher tiered account. Greg, can you talk about the night and day difference from before to now and how exciting it is and the difference of what you can do?
Yeah, for me, it all comes down to just knowing with a very, very high degree confidence that what I'm producing in terms of the words on the page are the best they can be. And I think the AI, especially with our tool, and I'm not going to knock other tools. Some stink, are really bad, and others are very good as well. But, when I have that comfort level and I can just get that done and then focus on other things that I think are very, very important in terms of ranking and building my brand. And I'm not talking backlinks or anything like that. I'm just talking about, building the brand, building an email list to send out to customers, actual real like world, business, if you will.
Business
if
building,
I can focus,
actual business
building, revenue building, i.e. anything other than SEO, I guess you could label it, at least on-page SEO, then I'm very happy. I can close my eyes, I can go to sleep, and I'm not worrying about, is my page too spammy? Is it too, am I just repeating? I want an AI to get that right so I can focus on other things. I'll pay you all day long for that.
Yeah.
So that's my take. I don't think there was anything like that before. You were always sort of guessing. You were plugging into tools that told you, well, you do this or that. And you don't know. You're just sort of like, okay, I guess this is correct, but I'm not sure. And then you release things. Some work, some don't. But was it the tool that was helping you? Who knows? But now there's a higher degree of confidence with SEO Copilot. So that's a game changer.
For sure, for sure. All right, so let's quickly check to see if there's any questions right now. So Walter Meek gives a heart. Thanks, Walter. AK says, how long does it take now? Again, as I said, it takes 20 minutes if you're not being picky. Walter Meek says, wink, wink. Yes, we're doing automated SEO, but fully automated AI-based, white hat, complete quality SEO. And we have the metrics to prove it. I'm about to show you. Louis says, I can't imagine paying that much today. Yeah, it's insane. It's insane. I mean, this is now the age of AI, and it has all changed. And this is one of the changes that is real, and one of the changes where it actually works. And we are in the forefront of doing that. I'm going to show you. Lisa says, I don't do that with plumbers. They really care. They rarely care. Yeah. And then Lisa says, I had a page hit in March. I don't know if those two statements are dissimilar, Lisa, no offense. I don't know if those two statements are unrelated. I think those two statements are related. Google cares. That's who cares. Google cares whether you have white hat quality content, and our tool helps you make white hat quality content, but fully automated, completely automated, maybe wearing a different color hat, like as if you were doing it, but you're not, because it's completely white hat quality content. So you can have your automation and you can have your white hat quality too. You can have your cake and eat it too with AI. It's just amazing. Also about your page hit in March, email me, joshpashinsky@gmail.com. I'd be happy to help you out with that. We have really good knowledge in SEO diversity as to what the March update was about. The only thing I'll drop here is just pay attention to your spam score and SEO Copilot. The spam score and SEO Copilot, I built it that way for a reason. It is a godsend. It can be a little tricky to make sure that all the 4 numbers are in green. It's kind of a retraining process of SEOs getting out of making what I call OMG SEO or OM4 SEO, obviously made for SEO content, which is clearly thin, to making high quality content. And they go, oh, that's what you mean. That's high quality content. That is what you need. It's got to be helpful to the user. It's got to give them tips and tricks that you never heard anywhere else. A pros and cons list? Oh, okay. And then they get it. And they're like, oh, okay. And that's the problem, is that most people don't know what high quality content means. What does that euphemism even mean? Yeah, it's high quality. I use sentences and punctuation and everything. Like, that's not high quality. That's not what Google meant, guys. It has to be helpful. You have to be showing tips and tricks. You don't have to have like tips and tricks in the article, but you have to have pro level expert tips and tricks. The tips and tricks that the experts talk about. You need to say, you want to research that for 100 hours? No, you want the AI to do it like that is what you want to do. And what you need to do, it's what you need to scale to build up a site big enough to rank good enough, fast enough is what you need to do. So email me, Lisa. I'd be happy to help you out. Lisa says, how long does it typically take to see significant improvements in search engine rankings? If you're doing your on-page correctly, you should see a boost in 24 hours after fetch, after indexing. If you folks at home are not seeing an on-page change give you a boost in 24 hours, one, either your on-page was already perfect, it was as good as it was going to get, or 2, you did it wrong. Probably 2. In my experience doing this 28 years, running SEO University for 8 years, and then people come in and they realize, either in the SEO Copilot and they get some results, or SEO University and they get some results, and they go, oh, that's what SEO is? That's how it works? Oh, it's everyone else is completely out to lunch, Josh, they tell me. And you can ask George and Greg. George and Greg, is that not true? When you come into the group, it's like a night and day difference where everyone else is over here talking about PBNs and if this, then that, and bullshit. And over here, we're talking about completely different things because we went in a different scientific direction and found the actual ranking factors. Is that fair to say?
I would say yes. I mean, I've been in a group long enough that I don't know how to say it without being mean, but I sort of always thought of most other groups, especially ones that aren't doing any real testing, right? As a meme SEO group, just like, oh, that's fun, and share like look what these guys are talking about now. Like we figured that out, years ago.
Yes, it's kind of funny in the group where we're like, oh look, the SEOs finally figured this out. We knew this 4 years ago. We feel pretty cool, when that happens, but it's because we've done the work. It's because we've done the work. And I spend a lot of time of doing SEO testing correctly with my academic background and my master's degree and my PhD I was doing, where I know how to do science. I know how to do single variable testing. I know how to do blended variable testing. I know how to do statistical data correlative analysis. And I could do it at a very high level with over 1.3 million data points with this tool, which is half the reason why I built it. Again, we're not bragging. We don't mean to come off egotistical or arrogant in any way, shape, or form. We want to help you. It's like asking the Spartans from ancient Greece and then asking some farmer with a club who knows how to fight better. And the Spartans are like, we've been doing this since we were 2, dude. Do you see this broken nose and this eye I'm missing? We've been doing this for 30 years. There's no comparison. It's like asking the American Special Forces and the army in Haiti or something. No offense to people in Haiti. It's like America is going to bomb you into the next century. There's no difference between the two. It's just the way that it is, right? And it's because of the money we put into it and the time we put into it and the professional level of seriousness in which we do it. So again, we're not saying this to be egotistical or bragging. We want to help you people. We want to help as much people as we can. We've put this into SEO Copilot. Check it out for free for 2 weeks. No credit card needed. And also, if you can't figure it out, go to my free SEO CP training. Sign up for a free SEO CP training. You don't actually need to actually be using SEO CP to go to the training either. Email me at joshpaczynski@gmail.com. I'll put you in the training. It's for free every 2 weeks. And or email me about joining SEO University and to get the fire hose of information. You're like, oh my God, this is all different than everyone says, but it's real. Oh, and then you'll see the ranking results. You'll see the wins channel. You'll see the qualitative difference there. So Lisa says, most SEOs say up to 30 days. I'm sorry, Lisa, they're wrong. They're completely wrong. It depends on the algorithm, right? Linking changes can take up to 30 days, but it depends if you're doing this or that or this or that, which you need to do for linking, which I'll tell you in Underground SEO University. If you don't do it, the spam brain is going to nab you. Do not build links without joining SEO University first. Spam brain will nab you. That'll be it. You'll be done. That'll be it. I'm saving your business right now. You might think this is just a blatant upsell, but it's not. Do not build links. Email me at joshpaczynski@gmail.com. We'll talk about SEO University. So some of those algorithms can take longer, but all the other algorithms are instant, nearly instant, and they need to be. And there's more than just on page. There's other algorithms that I've mentioned in the show that you will learn when you join Underground SEO University that are nearly instant. But for on-page changes, Lisa, it is 24 hours. And if you don't get a boost in 24 hours, you did it wrong. So if you're all in the green in SEO Copilot and you didn't see a boost, then hey, guess what? You already had something comparable that was almost just as good for that query intent. And so now it gets into a nitpicky kind of query intent things. Did you use the right query intent? Yes, people are looking for link building strategist. But when they search for a link building strategist, are they looking to hire a link building strategist? Do they want to know what the job of a link building strategist is? Do they want to know what the role of a link building strategist is? There's many different query intents that you can use that our AI will analyze and suss out for you that can reduce a lot of the guesswork there too. So you might have moved from query intent 1 to query intent 2. But 90% of the time, your existing article will be in the red in SEO Copilot. You put it in the green, you will get a boost. And the only other reason why you didn't is because the whole site's been hit. And then we have a site level penalty that we need to deal with. That definitely still happens for sure. So email me, Lisa, and anyone else listening to this, email me at joshpaczynski@gmail.com. I'd be more than happy to help you. All right, so let's just quickly go through. So you're like, okay, Josh, you promised you'd show us how to do this, or you'd show us that it exists. Let me quickly run through. I'm not going to do a full tutorial. Email me to join the SEO Copilot training, and I'll take you through step by step and answer your questions. But let me quickly show you the modules we have in our AI Copilot and the features and what it gives you. And I'll go through it really quickly so it's easy for you to watch. And that way you'll know that we have the SEO goods and what a real SEO AI Copilot is supposed to look like. It's not just some free prompt you download. It's not some GPT you use. It is much more robust than that. If it was that easy, we wouldn't have spent all this time and money building this thing. At SEO University, we realized, shit, we need to build up a whole AI that can do this. Otherwise, we can't compete. Our on-page time is like 20 hours a page. That is too much time. Customers won't pay that much, right? So we had to make this. If a free prompt on ChatGPT would have done it, we'd be effing doing that, okay? So there's a reason why we spend all our time and money doing this. And so let me show you the qualitative difference between them. So here is SEO Copilot. Here's the staging server. This design is not quite updated yet, so you're seeing the latest and greatest before the rest of the users see it here. But here it is. This is where you start to learn about the SEO Copilot's powerful features. We have kind of a little status bar or wizard on the top telling you what you need to do. Step one is keyword discovery. Find the ranking opportunities. As I said, 75% of SEO comes down to what search you try to rank for. You know, for example, should I try to rank for link building strategist, or what is a link building strategist, or top 10 tips on being a link building strategist? Which of those keywords is the competitor's weak and makes me the most money? This is where you use our AI to take 10 or 20 hours of research down to 5 minutes to find the ranking opportunities. So we click this, we go to keyword discovery. So what you do is you put in your base keyword or your seed keyword in here, and you can see I've got a whole bunch of them here, and look what I've got, right? I've got a whole bunch that I've put in here, and check this out. We show you not only the average keyword difficulty, and this is over 1.3 million data points, so I can tell you with a very high degree of certainty, with a much higher degree of certainty than any other SEO tool out there that does any kind of competitive analysis for difficulty, we can tell you when this says it's a tough niche at 16%, this is a fact. Or when we tell you that this is easier or this one is easier, that is a fact. And this is compared to all of SEO. So you can very quickly say, okay, well, look, if I want to rank for Google ads, that's 20% more difficult than the rest of the internet. Not only this, but we have the average keyword revenue ballpark, which is not a promise, but a rough estimate of how much money is behind that particular niche. So for example, if we take a look here at Newark Airport parking, it will tell us here right off the bat, and I'm going to make this smaller here, using the final ROI, the final return on investment. Because at the end of the day, like George said, you need a return on investment. You need to make sure that every single minute you spend doing SEO, you are making the maximal amount of money. Because if you don't, then your competitor is and you will lose. So you need to make sure you're making the maximum amount of money. You need to use the final ROI calculation. And you see what it'll do here? It'll take the keyword that will make the most amount of money, like Newark Airport parking, or even then another good one is long-term parking, Newark Airport, New York long-term parking lot. These are all pages you would build out. These are different pages you would build out. You'd copy them here, or you'd find the boosting keywords by clicking here. And they're all sorted automatically by our system and shows you roughly how much money per month you could make. Again, it's a rough approximate, but it's an apples to apples comparison with everything else in the system. And it shows you how difficult it is. Like this one is average difficulty. It's 14% more difficult. That's getting into tough, actually. The range for average is -15 to +15%. That's actually pretty hard to rank for. If I click easier here, you see this one is 27% easier. And you can see in various different SEO metrics that no other tool that I know of actually analyzes. It tells you how hard some of them are to beat and how easy some of them will be to beat. So you can actually start laser focusing on the exact competitor you want to remove off the SERP. Because at the end of the day, you're going to be punting one of these guys off the SERP and you're going to take their spot. So you can see here and go, look, oh good, Snap Parking is weak. They don't know how to do SEO. The EMQ is not anywhere in the places it needs to be for doing proper SEO. Their page rank is only 17 out of 100 or rounded up 2 out of 10. Their page is not focused on this. Their site is barely focused on this. Their title is barely focused on this. They only have 108 backlinks. They have 0 traffic paid, so they don't have any money for paid traffic. Tells you right now what kind of SEO velocity they might have. They have no money for paid traffic. That's a reasonable estimation. They don't have any money for SEO or less money for SEO. These guys are doing paid traffic, meaning they have good money, right? Their SEO velocity must be good too, probably. And finally, they do have a good organic traffic though. They got 22,000 to this website. That's a good organic traffic. You know there's good money behind here, but they have no brand awareness. So once again, our system can analyze here. Our Terminator system focuses on this one, terminate it. It's going to terminate this one. This is the guy you want to punt out. You might get any other ones. You might get this guy out here too. Spot Hero, you could get out as well. They're pretty weak at minus 39.63. It's pretty much equivalent to this one. And they're in spot number 3. You can punt them off, although they got some money for velocity here. However, if you're all in the green with our system, which I'm going to show you in the article builder, you're all in the green, we can pretty much guarantee you page 3 or higher. Page 2 to page 3, just for doing your on page, if not higher. No other system can promise you that in terms of its analysis, and promise you that in terms of its deliverables, which I'll show you in a second. And you know that on this one, you're going to make around $2,000 a month. That the competition is medium. Although the year-over-year change is down 6%, there's still 22,000 searches and a rough, a pretty good ad CPC compared to how all these work. You can tell by the blue bar that it's pretty much in line with all the rest of them. You can tell by the green bar here, this is green, right? I think it is, I'm colorblind. You can tell by this color bar, whatever it is, that the traffic per month is not bad either. And that's what gives you eventually the keyword ROI here. So that's how you very quickly tell which keywords, which searches you should be going for and finding all the ranking opportunities. Then when you come back to the dashboard, it's telling you, okay, now we're going to find the boosted on-page keywords. Now you're going to take those keywords you chose, and either you already started keyword reports for them, or you go here and you start a keyword report. You say, okay, well, I'm going to try to rank for long-term Newark parking. You put in your location, you just say, and you go to start keywords by report. And then you can auto-generate the article report after. Once that's done, you come here to reports, and you can look at, you can view it if you want. And it's reminding you here if this is a very difficult niche or if it's an easy niche. It's reminding you how much money there is here in the reporting system. It'll tell you whether you have an AI article generated. It'll also tell you a position if you're tracking position on some of them, right? It'll also tell you if your numbers are in the green. It'll check all 3 numbers and tell you whether, all 4 numbers and tell you whether it's in the green or red, which is the last thing you look at. So we've looked at the reports, but you don't really need to look at, this is optional. At the end of the day, once you've run a boosting keyword report, you've found all the semantic keywords, now you simply click article builder there, and you can click on the particular article, and then you can click generate article. To generate article does not take very long at all. I'll just say I'm John Smith, expert in, what is this, AI marketing. I'll actually say here, right from the perspective of an expert in AI marketing. You can say, or at the bottom or the top of the sales funnel, and say continue. And then our AI will analyze the niche. It will take all of the semantic score keywords that we got in the reports and use that to build. And so let me show you one that's actually done here. Let me go to, so what article builder, let me show you one that's actually done. Yeah, here we go. So here's one, where does workers' compensation? So this was an article that was done by the Generate article. You see it's got, headings, it's got lists, it's got all the helpful information that's going to help people out. You see that it's a little longer than it needs to be, so we started looking at the metrics here. This took 5 minutes, what would normally take 20 hours of research. Now all we need to do is narrow it down on these 4 important scores. So let me explain what these are. The spam score is here under SEO, and we can give you a spam score for your URL, your title, your meta description, your H1, and finally the body. And we'll tell you even what's wrong with it. See, the content provides a comprehensive overview of workers' compensation, emphasizes the importance of the program for both employees and employers. However, there is a clear overuse of the phrase workers' compensation. And it goes on, blah, 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 blah. So even though it's under 30, it's not too bad. It could be a little higher, and this one is 60. This is what's in the red, and this is what you need to address. This is what the latest updates are looking at, right? And I have all the stats to prove this. Again, I have over 1.3 million data points proving that this spam score needs to be in the green. This semantic score, which has to do with all of the words. Now, if you're like, what words are you talking about here, Josh? You see the words here. You can see the final score they have and how often that they're used here, how often they're used in the final score they have in the system. I'll show you another one that has a better example, like workers' compensation laws. You can go here to entities, check the words, check the score, and you can see these are the score that our system has used on the various AIs that Google actually uses. And the various AIs that Google actually uses here is RankBrain, BERT. They also use TWBERT and query interpretation. And these are the actual AIs that have given us score. We've rebuilt models for you that actually use the AIs that Google uses to rank and giving you a score. You notice here we don't have NLP because Google does not use it to rank. You notice here we don't have LSI because Google does not use it to rank. If you check here in what Google published of what they use to rank, here's the guide to the Google search ranking systems. You notice in here NLP does not exist. There is no NLP. You notice in here LSI does not exist. Google does not use LSI for on-page keywords. There's no LSI. They use BERT for rankings. And this has been published for years. I don't know why people don't know this. They use BERT for rankings. They use freshness for rankings. That's the timeliness and the T for sheet. We're adding that as well. They use the helpful content system. That's the H in sheet. They use neural matching, which we also have in our system, which is a longer test. I just didn't run it for that particular one because it takes 20 minutes to rebuild a model for that. But we have it. They use the passage ranking system, which we use. They use RankBrain, which we use. They use the review system, which we use. And they use the spam detection system, which we use. And we help you not shoot yourself in the foot there. That's what all these scores here are about. So out of the box, these articles are usually pretty good. This one's a little too long here. So I could use the system of upping the scores, upping all these scores, or downing the scores. Just simply clicking all these and getting different scores out of it here. But I can also do this and getting rid of that. And then I can recheck this. And then boom, we're in the green. So it's very easy to get it in the green if you know how to work this system. The spam score is super low. It says the body content only has a brief mention of the topic workers' compensation without any obvious keyword stuffing or repetition. It addresses the general overview, blah, 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 blah. This is the only one that's a little high. If I redo this one, it's a little bit over the 4.1 suggested statistical data correlative analysis, but it's only a little bit over. It's not too bad. If I really wanted, I could rewrite all of this either manually. I could write portions manually, or I could highlight this, downscore it, replace, highlight this, downscore it, replace. I can just go through and do this. And once I do this to a good half the page, which will take me just a few seconds here, not long at all. You'll see the further I do this, the shorter we'll get, the more concise it will get, the better written it will get, the more engaging it will get, the more active tense it will get. And finally there, boom. Okay, I've probably done enough now. You could see this value probably will go down a bit. Yeah, so you see it's going down. So I just keep going up and start moving things down. It's around the right length. And then you also notice the heat score here. This is the actual, how comprehensive the content is, how helpful, how much experience you're showing in the content, how much expertise you're showing in the content, how much authority you're showing in the content, and how trustworthy the content is. And you see all the scores here are in the green, none of them are in the red. It is insightful, it's beyond the obvious. This is the actual questions that Google uses for the helpful content. This is what Google has told you how to do for the quality raters. So this is what we tell the AI to do, and this is how it does it. It's not easy to do it. You need a comprehensive chain of thought ideation to do this properly, but it does it. So there you go. This content, with just a little bit of fixing, would be guaranteed to rank. Even with this, would probably rank pretty fine, especially if you have a high DA page. And so that, in a nutshell, is how you get the content. It didn't take very long. It wasn't that hard. The system doesn't take very much longer than that. It's about 5 minutes for the first thing, 5 minutes for a report, 5-10 minutes for an article. Work on it for 10-20 minutes. Boom, bang, you're done. Rinse, repeat. Keep building pages. And the pages you're building are on the absolute best ranking opportunities of the easiest competition where they're weak, where after 25 years of SEO, Google has shot huge holes in the SERP. Huge holes are missing of where they've booted really bad competitors who are buying links for years and doing black hat stuff. Black hat is punted out, and your white hat methods now automated by AI, with the power of AI doing a ton of research for you, is now going to allow you to rank in those areas where the competitors are weak and where there's a lot of money to be made. So SEO has never looked better using AI. So Greg, George, did I miss anything there that you think should be added? I think it's super exciting at what you can do for SEO agencies and in-house SEOs.
If I'm being honest with you, I think you gave away too much, but it's fine.
Yes, that's right. That you're not the only student at SEO University to say that. But you know, this is the basics. This is just on page. When you include everything else, I think there's a lot more there for SEO University students.
Yeah, no, there's so much more.
Yeah, I was gonna say honestly, I don't think I've ever been part of any SEO group for that matter that's ever been so hell bent on keeping anyone else out. I mean, you do this long enough, you have to be a special type of insane to enjoy it. So. We all need as much help as we can get as the community grows and shrinks all at the same time.
Yes, exactly. I'd like to thank George. I'd like to thank Greg for joining. So guys, here's the bottom line. The bottom line is this. AI-powered SEO is powerful. It is fast. It is way cheaper. It is way faster. You could build far more at a far higher quality. You can keep your existing writers and just have them use the tool and build out way more. You could maybe streamline your operations and make more money. You can accept more clients now because you can build more faster for way, way less. I would try SEO Copilot for free for 2 weeks, and I would sign up and try to use the tool. If you don't understand how to use the tool, or you don't understand stuff I've been talking about, sign up for my free training. Email me at joshpashinsky@gmail.com. I'd be happy to sign you up for some free SEO Copilot training. You don't even need to be a paying member yet. So go ahead and email me at joshpashinsky@gmail.com for the free SEO Copilot training, for more information about SEO University, to get discounts on both SEO Copilot and SEO University, and or for any other SEO consultant you need. If you want more of the kind of other automation stuff that we've been talking about in the kind of traditional sense of hats, email George. Again, George, your contact information was georgej@georgedigital.net. georgej@georgedigital.net. Great. Well, again, I want to thank both you guys for being on, and thank everyone for watching. The future is now. SEO has never looked brighter. I know a lot of people are like, SEO is dead. No, SEO of that age is dead. For sure, it's dead. But SEO using AI is just starting, and it's very exciting. You can vastly reduce everything, all the pain points you can vastly reduce, and you can make way more money and way more content and have way more success, and reduce your anxiety and stress levels, and know that the system has your back and that it's ranking you. So I would get in on it now.